Well, hello there. It's Saturday the 30th of May 2020 and here you are with Dan in Essex, UK in the polytunnel. So we're up at over 40 degrees C here in the tunnel, which is about 104 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. So today I'm going to be talking about 2 or 3 vegetables I think everybody should have a standby crop of in case of crop failures. So the first one of those is spinach. The next one is chard and the other one is kale. So spinach and chard are absolutely brilliant because I've noticed that things like slugs and snails and to a degree birds don't seem to be too interested in. Now, of course when they are immature, birds may be sort of pecking little bits out of them. But they're generally very resilient crops that one can put in the garden and doesn't get too much of a problem, and they're a great staple, a great regular crop to have and fully hardy here in the UK. So kale is also an excellent one, but of course with kale you've got to be very careful with regards to the cabbage white butterfly, so just cover them up. But if people were only going to grow 4 things, okay, I would go for spinach, chard, kale and potatoes, and from those 4 things one could sustain themselves very, very well. So let's have a look around this polytunnel whilst we're here, have a bit of a chat, have a bit of an update, and just generally fill our boots on this absolutely fine and spiffing Saturday afternoon. So let's go. Right, so I mentioned potatoes, so there we are. Now I've got an assortment of potatoes here. I have Swift, Desiree, King Edward, Duke of York, Willia, Jazzy, absolutely amazing spuds, looking really, really powerful and cool. Now this is intriguing, okay? The main crop potatoes, Desiree, have actually come into flower, as you can see here, before the first early potatoes. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what's happened here. Now, many of you may be aware that I'm growing the potatoes here in the polytunnel, which, as I described earlier, is very, very hot indeed for growing potatoes. So this is an experiment, okay? I'm not expecting it all to go swimmingly well, but we'll all see how it all pans out when I do my potato reveals later in the year. Now, I mentioned those 3 crops earlier on, so I'll show you what I've got. So spinach here, you can see starting to germinate absolutely beautifully. The kale is here. This is in fact curly kale here, and this is red Russian borecole kale. So 2 different types of kale and 1 type of spinach. Now I haven't set any chard at the moment, but many of you are aware that I'm growing chard in another place here at the project. So absolutely lovely. Dwarf beans, I've got loads planted here. And what have I got here? Sweet corn. Ah, what's this? What is this? Oh, more curly kale, there we go. So I've got sweet corn here, there you go, it's starting to come up there, look, isn't that absolutely amazing, absolutely beautiful, lovely and delicious. Now, the melons are looking cool, look at those, really, really going from strength to strength as the season progresses, isn't that amazing? Now, I'm having an absolutely ginormous crop of strawberries here, absolutely beautiful. And look at these strawberries, look at those. Absolutely beautiful, sweet, juicy and gorgeous. So here we go. Now, this variety here, Florence, okay, are doing incredibly well. I mean, look at that strawberry. Juicy, sweet, beautiful and lovely. It's something so lovely when one can come into their polytunnel and pick their own strawberries. Of course, growing them in a polytunnel such as this is a massive advantage because it keeps the birds off of them. I've had a little bit of slug damage, but honestly speaking, compared to the amount of strawberries I'm producing at the moment, I'm getting very minimal slug damage. So there we are, very, very happy indeed. So if your strawberries are currently swelling at the moment, I would advise daily watering, okay? If you do that, you're more likely to get big, large, juicy strawberries, because that's what we want. We don't want, you know, weak, sort of small, dry strawberries, because that's no good for anyone, is it? So there we go. Right, now look down here at these peppers, getting bigger by the day. I mean, absolutely amazing peppers just down here, gorgeous. And the carrots, well, there we are. So let's just take a moment to admire the view of strawberries. 1 moment longer. And there we are. So, oh, the aubergine, look at that. So there we are. Now, if you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Comments, questions, whatever's, please feel free to post below. And of course, we can all just enjoy this absolutely fantastic weather. I mean, 40 degrees C in here over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Isn't that amazing? See you next time, peeps, and thank you very much for viewing.